Good morning, everyone, especially to Doc Cheng and to the viewers of this video. Good morning. So today we'll have another set of tutorial video. We will have a different test using Jamovi as our statistical tool. So let's start. Okay, so to begin with, allow me to share my screen at magsisimula tayo sa first test natin ngayon, that's ANOVA. Si ANOVA is testing to siya to compare means between two unrelated groups. So dalawang groups na yung tinitest natin. And it has two types, the one-way ANOVA which only consists one independent variable at si two-way ANOVA naman consists of two at least two or more independent variables. So regardless of the numbers of their dependent variables. So it's important to note that in ANOVA, it will only tell us if if the two groups were different from one another, but it won't tell us which group is different. So that's why if there is a significant difference man in ANOVA, we'll proceed to post hoc test. That's tricky. So for us to know exactly which groups had a different has difference in means. So yun yung gagawin natin ngayon. So we'll try to check if may significant ba or wala yung data natin. So to start navigating the Jamovi for ANOVA, we'll have first one-way ANOVA. So click the analysis tab, then click ANOVA, one-way ANOVA, and here. So let's try to check yung chemistry grade if ano ba yung chemistry grade depending on the level, year level. So the chemistry grade yung dependent natin and yung year level naman natin is the R grouping variable. So before we proceed, it's important that yung lahat ng assumption is mamimit. So let's try to check it here, the assumption checks. Now, the first assumption is that ang dependent variable natin should be interval or ratio level. In this case, since grade naman ito, so pasok. Then next one is independent variable should consist of more than two categorical unrelated independent groups. So which in this case are the year levels. So first to fourth. Then the third one is yung there should have independence of observation. So walang relationship between between yung groups natin. So next one naman is no significant outliers. Makikita natin yan using in this plot. So wala man kay layo nga dot. So meaning wala is outliers. Then next one is ang dependent variable natin should be approximately normally distributed, and we're gonna check that using Shapiro-Wilk. So since greater than alpha naman yung p-value natin, so pasok. And last one is there is need to be homogeneity of variance. So makikita natin yan using the Levin's test. So since greater naman yung p-value sa 0.05, so pasok. So lahat ng assumption natin is pasok. So now, we'll see na the result of our one-way ANOVA. But if we want to check all the descriptive, like the mean, standard deviation, and other information that you might need, you can check here, descriptive table. Going back to the result, so as you can see here, the p-value is 0.206. So that means that it's greater than our alpha 0.05. So walang significant difference yung grade ng mga year level. So since hindi naman siya significant, well, hindi tayo magpo-proceed doon sa TRUCI or sa post-hoc test. But in case naman, in case that there is a significant difference, like let's say less than ito ng 0.05, we can check that one here in this part, the post-hoc test. So makikita natin kung ano ba yung difference nila with each other, from each other. So you can check here the flag significant comparison to easily detect kay mabot na ano siya asterisk the moment may significant relationship, which as you can see here in the data, wala ni isa dira ang less than 0.05. So tama to ato ang one-way ANOVA that there's no significant relationship from all year levels based on their chemistry grade. So basically, that's one-way ANOVA. Okay, so now let's proceed with two-way ANOVA. So allow me to share again my screen. Okay, so for two-way ANOVA, again, this is same with one-way ANOVA, but the difference is that there's two independent variables na. So, ganun pa rin, you're just gonna click the analysis tab, then click ANOVA, then the ANOVA. So, in this case, yun pa rin yung data sample natin, yung chemistry grade as our dependent variable. And we'll have, let's say, gender and year level as our independent variables. Then, let's try to check na all the necessary result. But before that, mag-assumption checks muna tayo. So, same with one-way ANOVA, ganun pa rin yung assumption. However, for the two-way ANOVA, there must be two independent variables, but the rest is same pa rin. But we'll try to check the Q plot here. Walang significant outlier. Yung Shapiro wilt naman is pasok rin. Yung Leven's test naman, pasok rin since sila ay mas mataas sa alcohol level natin na 0.05. So, since lahat naman ng assumption is na-meet, let's proceed to analysis. So, as you can see here, yung F value ni gender at year level is 2.689, which the p-value naman nun is less than 0.05, which means na greater than 0.05 since ito ay 0.093. So wala pa ring significant difference yung independent variables natin sa chemistry grade. So meaning hindi tayo pwede mag-proceed ng post-hoc test. But in case that this is less than or pasok siya or may significant difference to get the true K, so just click post-hoc test, then yung gender at yung year level, then we'll see na the result. So, as you can see here in post-hoc comparisons between gender and year level sa chemistry grade, wala tayong makikita na less than 0.05 dyan. So, meaning, wala talagang significant difference yung dalawa. So, that's just two-way ANOVA. And now, let's proceed to Ancova or the analysis of covariant. So, analysis of covariant, ginagamit to siya to compare means of an independent variable across different groups while controlling one or more continuous variable which is known as covariant. So, mostly, ginagamit to siya especially in quasi-experimental design since you will be having your variables na gina-control. So aside from the dependent and independent variable, there's another variable involved and that's covariant. So allow me to share my screen for us to know how to navigate Ancova using Jamovi. So for this one, let's just click analysis tail and then ANOVA, then you'll find Ancova. So for Ancova, let's try to check yung dependent variable natin is, let's say, the post test. And then yung fixed factor or your independent natin is, let's say, the year level. And then yung covariant natin is the pretest. So let's try to check if may significant difference ba. Okay. All right. So, but before that, of course, may mga assumption tayo na init. So, first one is yung si dependent variable natin at si covariant variable should be on continuous scale. So, which I believe is pasok naman. And then si independent variable should consist of 2 or more groups. So in this case, si year level natin yung IV natin and there's 4 groups under this one. Then normally distributed. So si normal distribution natin, that's greater than 0.05, so pasok. Then no significant outliers. And okay, and homogeneity test. See, using Levin's test. So that's 0.040. So that means hindi siya pasok because it's less than 0.05. So, but anyway, for the sake of illustration, so let's try to proceed. But in research, as per discussion, bawal siya na hindi ma-meet kahit isa lang sa assumption. So, dapat lahat. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's just assume that greater than 0.05 yung nakikita natin. Then, the covariant should be related to the dependent variable. So, si covariant daw ay related sa ating dependent variable, which is the post-test and yung pre-test natin. Then, there's need to be homoscedasticity. So we can check this using the scatter plot. And the last one is there's need to be homogeneity of regression slope. So those are the assumptions that we need to meet. So for analysis of this one, let's try to check if my significant difference pa. So si pre-test, that's si year level, since ito man yung independent natin, is greater than the 0.05. So wala siyang significant difference. But yung pretest is yung p-value niya is less than 0.05. So may significant difference. However, si pretest is hindi man ito yung independent natin, but just the covariant. So yung year level natin, yung titingnan natin. So this one is hindi naman siya significant, but in case that there's a significant difference naman, we'll proceed with post hoc test, then si Chuki. So let's try to check lang. So okay, so as you can see here, wala lahat ng result is walang pasok, or there's no significant difference sa ating data. So that's Ancova, or the analysis of covariant.